Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. All right, let's get right to it. It's 10 o'clock. It's E360. I mean, I didn't say this. Einstein said it. Isn't that great? I hope one of you all gets so famous one day that we don't call you by your first and your last name. We just call you by your last name and everybody knows it. And then we can use that word to call other people that. And they think, wow, we know just what they mean. Like, that guy's an Einstein. Or that lady's an Einstein. You know what I mean? Albert Einstein. It's not that I'm so smart. It's just that I stay with problems longer. In one word, sum that up for me. What's this embody?
Genius.
Well, so Albert Einstein may be a genius, but what's perseverance, right? Persistence, perseverance, right? So if I was writing a one-word journal response, maybe that would be the word I'd use. But since you're all writing a nice little paragraph, you're probably going to talk a little bit more about that. 2 updates. On Monday, we are having visitors from Nifty, those folks. The people that put on your competition at the end of the year at regionals and then hopefully maybe nationals. When we have visitors, talk to me a little bit about the protocol. What do we do with visitors? Watch this. I'm a visitor. Let's role play for a moment. What is this place? Hi, it's nice to meet you. I'm Brandon. I'm a visitor.
And then everybody else does that too.
And then everybody else does that, right? Now, here's the deal. You're going to have multiple visitors. So there's going to be multiple hands to shake. So not everybody has to bombard the same person. And if you're all the way in the corner, you don't have to beeline it up. You can let these folks in this corner say hello, but they're going to slowly trickle in. And you can walk over, introduce yourself, shake their hands, welcome them to the Entrepreneurship Center. I cannot tell you how impactful it was the first time that I came here as a visitor and everybody stood up to shake my hand. I thought I was in the Twilight Zone, really, truly. But it wasn't a bad Twilight Zone. It was like a wow. A bunch of 16-year-olds got up out of their chairs to welcome me and shake my hand. For those of you who are 15, you'll go with that. For those of you who are 16 and 17 and 18, go with that. Okay? And 14? All right, wow. And those of you who are 14, go with that. So please welcome our visitors. And then we're going to have a class. They're going to be observing our class. I'm not asking you to do anything other than be your best self. Bring it. Hello, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. So get here on time next Monday and welcome those folks and then participate in class fully. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask them questions. So that's Nifty Visit, okay? This comes back to my quote, my unofficial quote, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Holiday fair update. We're getting a lot of snow this weekend. Essentially, metaphorically, we got punched in the mouth. We are canceling the holiday fair. It's not on. Yes, that's my announcement. It's not a very good thing. Dallas has done a lot of work to get this off the ground, so it kind of stinks. I'd use a different word if I could, but I can't, so I won't. That said, we are going to start thinking about maybe doing a holiday fair market at the Professional Development Day. We've got 2 of them next week. They actually do bear fruit. The advisors do purchase stuff, especially around the holiday time. They are looking to get gifts, so it could be still a really good opportunity. So more to come on that. We'll have updates on that on Monday. But we have no holiday fair this weekend, so don't show up. There will be nobody here, okay?
Don't come at all.
So that's that, and that's that.
Tell your friends.
So there's a big expectation today, which is we're going to be loud, we're going to be proud, and we're going to actually like speak in a way that I can hear you, speak in a way that Nick can hear you, speak in a way that the camera can hear you, speak in a way that all of your classmates can hear you. But we've got to do this in order to get ready for the class on Monday. So we've got to fill this out. And this is our ROI chart based off of the stuff that you bought and are going to resell. So who wants to walk me through, and when I say walk me through, remind me, refresh my memory on ROI. First of all, what is it? Return on investment, ROI. What's it mean, return on investment? Someone who I don't hear from a lot. Take this as an opportunity. Ricky, what do you got for me? Ricky, why don't we make room for you? Why don't we make room for you? Jensley and James are gonna part like the Red Sea. It's gonna be amazing. A little biblical reference in the morning for you. Old Testament or New Testament?
Old.
Pretty sure that's the Old Testament.
Okay.
So Ricky, ROI, return on investment. Talk to me.
What are you getting back from what you bought?
What am I getting back from what I bought? Okay? How much profit am I generating from the investment that I made? Now, there's a big caveat or a big thing in there. What do I got to make sure I take out when I think about return on investment? What do I got to account for? Your loan, your original investment, right? You've got to make sure that you're not counting that original investment as part of your return. You get that money back, you subtract it out, and you look at your return. All right, so what's the equation for return on investment? Someone who I don't hear from. Debut.
Total gain from investment.
Loud.
Total gain from your investment.
Total gain from investment
Minus the cost of the investment.
minus cost of investment
Divided by the cost of the investment.
divided by cost of investment. Okay. Here's what I want to do. Somebody didn't like my wordplay, the bizarre bazaar. This is a bazaar. You all have stuff in front of you. If you don't have your stuff in front of you, grab your stuff out of your bags, put it in front of you. Here's what I want to do. One thing that's important is getting feedback from customers and potential customers. So what I'd like for you to do is you will walk around. Everybody's going to put their stuff on the table in individual representation. So if you've got 3 different products, put your 3 sample products there. And what I want you to do, there's a bunch of cut up pieces of paper. I want everybody to grab a little handful. And then I want you to get your pen. And I want you to walk around and I want you to look at products that you would be interested in purchasing. So if there are some cozy socks here, so if there are cozy socks here and you're thinking, I would never wear those cozy socks, I would never buy them, I would never purchase them, I don't want you to weigh in on them because you're not my target customer. But if you see something that you would buy, I want you to take a little piece of paper, I want you to write how much you would pay for it and put it down in front of it. Because what we're going to try to do, is you're going to get feedback from potential customers on how much they're willing to pay, and then we're going to find the average price that everybody in this room was willing to pay for your stuff. So here's the thing. Only put prices down on things that you would actually buy, because that's a good target customer. All right? So put your stuff out. I want everybody to grab a handful. You can grab as many as you want. I can make more of them. And I want you to walk around the room and I want you to help your classmates out with their pricing. Tell them how much you would pay for these particular items, okay? So have at it. So you're going to add up all those numbers and divide by the total numbers of pieces of paper. We're finding the average. Here's what I want to know as you're doing that. I'm going to talk in your backswing, which isn't really helpful when you're doing math. But if you're doing a survey and you were collecting these little pieces of paper, how many pieces of paper would you have wanted to collect for this to be a statistically significant, meaning a really valuable and valid with enough responses so that it's meaningful? How many people would you have liked to have talked to? Liam, what do you got?
Like 100.
So like 100?
Well, 100.
Okay, no, fair. So 100? 100's a great number. If you could talk to 100 people, wonderful. What's the bare minimum?
25.
25? So 25 is a good number. I would say 50. And that's the number that's coming to mind right now. I can't tell you with all relative certainty, like, oh, this is statistically significant at 50, but whatever sticks out in my mind, I remember learning, you want to talk to at least 50 people. To Liam's point, you want to talk to 100, talk to 100. You want to talk to 1,000, please talk to 1,000, right? The more people you talk to, the better your data becomes. What was interesting about this little experiment is people got to self-select into it. So you actually, I think, got more accurate data that represents your potential customer. You didn't get people who weren't really interested answering. They're still meaningful. Like, it's still good to get the wisdom of the crowd to put all these people in there. But what you found out is people really looking towards yours. So now, I'm going to give you 1 minute of me not speaking for you to do that final calculation. Get that average price. I'll just wait until I don't see eyes, or rather when I see eyes. Yes, sir.
So it's like add all the phone numbers, subtract from how much cars are there, and then divide by what?
So here, let's go through. So per item, you have individual items. So you're not just going to bulk all of your tickets together, all of your pieces of paper. Anything that is specific to your gloves. So say you had 3 people tell you prices for your gloves. You would add up the amounts on each of those tickets, $3, $4, $5. 5, 4, 9, 12. So you would have 12, and you divide by 3 the number of responses that you got to find the average. So 12 divided by the 3 responses is $4 on average. So it's by individual item. If all of your items are the same, then you've got an easier job in front of you, which is great, right? So if all you had is lipsticks, absolutely, right? So you're adding up all, oh, what if they're all the same? Well, I mean, then your answer is going to come out the same. Yeah, if they're all the same, then good for you. I guess you got a pretty solid price that people are looking to pay. Yes?
I got 1 piece for each item.
You got 1 piece for each item? So not very helpful. I mean, this is actually good. I mean, that's not helpful at all. I mean, like, that's just one person saying, hey, I would pay this much money. So the ideal scenario for those of you who got multiple pieces of paper for the items, great. You're finding a better average. If you got 1, what I might do is whatever you were thinking about as a price, put that down as your second one and then average the 2. But here's the deal. Not statistically significant. Like, I wouldn't run out and say, I did great customer research. I know what one person is willing to pay for my item, right? The more people, the better. Yes?
I didn't really get any.
You didn't really get what?
Any of the prices.
So nobody wants to buy your stuff. That's tough. That's a
Free
tough.
gloves.
That's a tough. Now, by the way, you've been selling them. What have you been selling them for?
$5.
$5. Okay. So some of you might have found this not as helpful because there weren't people in the classroom looking to buy your stuff, right? So we're going to proceed with, if you got an average price, you're going to use that in your equation. So we're going to look at the item purchased, the cost of each item, what you paid for it, so you know what you paid for each one. We had figured that out last class, but someone refresh my memory how we figure out how much each item costs. Genzi, we're going to use you as an example because you bought all the same items. So run me through what your scenario was. How much was it per scarf? Loud so I can hear you.
$385.
$385. How'd you get it? Walk me through. You got to be loud for me.
I'm selling it for $15.
Okay.
So I took away $385, and that gave me $11.15.
So I don't want that's good. I don't want the profit per unit yet. I want to know how you found out that each one of your scarves cost you $385.
So I did 50 divided by 13,
Why?
because that's how many scarves I bought with $50.
All right, so your quantity was 13, and the cost for all of them were 50. So we did 50 divided by 13, and what was it? $3.85. So we, last class, or a few classes ago, found out what each of your items cost per unit. Is there anybody that doesn't know their cost per unit of their item? Anybody? Because we only maybe did it for one or two items. Maybe you didn't do them for all of them. If you need a moment to figure out your cost per unit, we good though? I don't hear anybody saying we're not good. So everybody's got their cost per unit for their item. Great. So here's what I want you to do in your notebook. I want you to write out the item that you purchased, the cost of the item, cost per unit of the item you purchased, what you plan to sell it for based off of, if you got good data in this classroom, based off of the data you got from this classroom. If you didn't get good data, you're just going to have to test a price. You're going to have to throw a price out there for it. And then I want you to calculate your expected ROI based off of the formula that we just went over. And we're going to have you fill out this whole chart. I'm going to fill this chart out. Once you're done there, you're going to come up, grab this pen, and you're actually going to fill this out. Okay? Yeah, we'll put your name next to it. That's a good suggestion.
Or our initials.
Initials. So why don't we take a moment? I would imagine that Nick and I are going to have to walk around and help some folks do this. I would imagine that you're going to give me the eyes like, I need some help right here. So why don't we walk around and give you a little bit of help? Who needs help? Give me some eyes. Would it be helpful for me to do an example on the board?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah. So I'm going to use Gensley's example. And I'm going to walk this through from start to finish. I'll give everybody a second. So Gensley purchased 13 scarves. Okay? So Gensley has 13 scarves, and you paid how much money, Gensley?
Oh wait,
For total, right?
50.
So total cost is $50. The first thing Gensley needs to know is what did it cost me per unit? I take 50 and I divide it by the quantity that I have. And we said that was $3.85? Okay. So now Gensley knows the cost per scarf. So Gensley's going to say, okay, here's what I think I'm going to get from selling a scarf. This is what I expect to sell it for. So this is that total gain. The better way for us to have said that, and I apologize for the confusion, is to say selling price per unit. Selling price per unit, we just got that calculated in class here based off of your averages, or if you didn't, you're just going to assign a value that you think you're going to go out there and test. So the selling price per unit is $15. So now what we want to do is we say, okay, we're going to sell it for $15, but it cost me $3.85. So I've got to take that $3.85 out. I've got to account for the fact that I had an initial investment in there. So I subtract out my cost of investment per unit. We're doing a per unit ROI right now. $3.85. Okay? So right now, all we've done is we've said, how much did what's my per unit cost? I needed to know the amount that I purchased and how much I purchased them all for. I then take that amount and I divide it by how many I purchased. to find out my per unit cost. And then I go to my equation and I say, okay, what's my selling price per unit? How much am I going to sell this scarf for? $15. The equation then tells me, okay, well, I've got to account for the fact that I bring in $15, but $385 of that was my initial investment, so I got to take that out. Someone want to do that math for me? 15 minus 385? 1115. The equation then says, all right, I'm going to take 1115 and I'm going to divide it by, again, my cost of the investment, 385. So at this point right here, these two numbers, once you found this number, these two numbers get plugged in twice. So you've got that. And then this, at this point, you're making it up. You're setting this price. You can set it by going out and doing a survey, tiny one that we did here. You want more. Or if you didn't get any results, you're going to say, this is what I think it's going to sell for. This is what I hope to get. So then I find out 1115 divided by 385. What is that? 1115 divided by 385. I can't do that in my head. 290? 2.9. 2.90. And what we said was, in order to convert this into a percent, we were going to multiply it by 100, 290%. It's a 290% return on Gensley's money, which is almost a 3 times return on her money. Meaning, I spent $385, I get my $385 back, and then I get $385 again, I get $385 again, and then I almost get another $385. Good investment, bad investment? I'll take that investment any day of the week. So you've got to figure out what your cost per unit is. So you've got to know how many did I buy and how much did I pay in total. You do that math, or you divide, and you find that cost per unit. And then you plug it into the equation. The equation is the equation. That's the beautiful part about the equation. It's the selling price per unit minus the cost per unit divided by the cost per unit. You just plug your numbers in. Is that helpful? It was probably, you should have done an equation or gone through it once before. Why don't I give you some time? I want to walk around again. But you're doing this equation through for each individual item that you bought. All right? So if you bought all hats, you're going to find how many quantity of hats did I buy divided by how much I spent on the hats. And you're going to run this equation through. If you did 3 separate things with lipsticks and gloves and hats, you're going to do this for each individual one. Make sense? Okay. So Liam is going to kick us off with a 60-second pitch. We're then going to take a short break, even though we've been on break. We're going to take a short break. I'm going to cue up a video that's going to set the stage for the type of energy that I want from everybody. And then we're going to move right into 60-second pitch problems, problems, problems. I want to hear everybody stand up, deliver a loud, excited, animated, problem-filled pitch, solution, supporting evidence, the whole deal. So as we finish up there, Liam's going to kick us off and kick us out with a high-octane, high-energy, 60-second pitch full of problems, problems, problems. The show must go on, okay? He's there. Hey, I'm going to actually ask that you two come on this side so we get that's a little microphone. It's going to pick that up nicely. We're not going to block the sound waves. It's going to be amazing. Why don't you move the chairs out of the way, too? Thank you so, so much. Pull a chair over, pull a chair over. Come on, we got this. We got this. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Go ahead. All right, everybody. Liam, get our attention.
All right. In 1902, J.M. Barrie gave us the Lost Boys, a group of kids living in Neverland who would never grow up. In 1987, Jeb Schumacher gave us his Lost Boys, a biker gang of teenage vampires. The magical market of millennials stands at 80 million people in the U.S. alone, each of them earning to find a brand which fits them. Lifestyle brands are dominating the fashion industry. Lost Boys is more than a lifestyle brand. It's a message and a reminder. The message, the people moving culture, like the Lost Boys we know, live forever through their work and their art. The reminder is that fashion isn't wholesale t-shirts with a hollow brand name screen printed on. A reminder of the impact that can be had through fashion and that you don't matter to the world. What matters is what you put into it. I got really reedy at the end, but yeah, that's that.
Woo, snaps. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to set a precedent here. Stay up there. Stay up there. Feedback. Critical feedback, helpful feedback, honest feedback, positive feedback, negative feedback, constructive feedback. Go. This is your class. This is on you.
All right, so definitely put a little bit more enthusiasm.
Yeah, I was freaking out.
Enthusiasm.
Yeah, enthusiasm. Look like you want to present it, not like you want to hide in the corner and present it.
Okay.
I loved it. I think it was really touchy. Like, it brought a lot of memories, sort of like the whole Lost Boys. And, I think it will touch a lot of other people who are millennials and stuff. And
Louder.
And you made your point clear that people are getting lost. But I do think that it's a nice 60-second pitch, but there's not a lot of information about the whole fashion point of it. I understood because I know that, but if I didn't really know what your business was, I'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
I get it, sorta.
Yeah.
But I think there should be some number or something in there that
Okay.
would make it more straight to the point.
Yeah.
Okay. So straight to the point, it was funny, we had talked about this yesterday. I was going between two quotes yesterday, one being, or the last class, around you want to be so passionate about that you forget to be afraid. And then we talked about one which was, when you have a point, don't dance around the point, whack it, then take the point again, whack it again, and then take the point for a third time and whack it a third time. It was from Winston Churchill, right? So don't be nuanced, don't dance around the point, just keep whacking and hitting the point. So you're hearing it again, right? And you're probably all gonna hear something similar. So nice job, keep going. Sorry, I had to. What else? Come on, people.
Yeah, it was how you articulate yourself and how you can speak on the subject.
Yeah.
Prove that you're very passionate. And I also like how you touch base on how their work was never lost through the ages, because how their message was never lost because of their artwork. But that was nice as well. It gave you an idea where you're going, where you was.
Anybody else?
You're too reedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That definitely happened.
Yeah, it's written well though.
So keep going. Unless we got nothing else. So I'm gonna have you do it again.
Awesome.
I'm gonna have you do it again. I want you to do it again, and you can't change the words, so don't worry about the less nuance and being stay with the words that you have. But what do we want to see? More enthusiasm, more excitement, and now it's your second time through, so there should be a little bit less nervousness. One thing that I'll say, another thing, is you moved over into a different part of the world.
I don't know why
Stay in your world. I have seen this before, and this was actually a kid that went to nationals, so just know, he went to nationals, so you can do anything, and he was literally up there. He was so nervous that he was talking, and in the middle of his presentation, he kept talking and did a full pirouette. And we all just looked at him and we're like, dude, you just did a full 360. He's like, no, I didn't. You just did a full 360. It was unbelievable. You only turned your back. This is like a theater thing. Just don't turn your back. Never turn your back to the audience. One, because then we can't see your eyes and we can't hear you. Two, it seems disrespectful. And three, it's like, where did you go? Are we playing hide and seek?
Do we have a problem with me just kind of reading it?
Yes. Yeah, we unanimously we have. So what we want to see is the easiest way to communicate enthusiasm and excitement that you did not do. This is very constructive, very specific feedback. Put a smile on your face. You were not smiling. When you smile, I will smile back and we will be enthusiastic with you, okay? So just work on that. Smile, enthusiastic. You can read. Do what you got to do. It's the first day of pitches.
All right,
Places, please.
Places, over there.
Please.
this one. Can I move or no?
No, you got to stay with
I
your...
have-
Feel your boots starting to grow
That's what I'm
roots,
trying to do.
okay?
It's like, there's a snake in my
Eminem,
You can just play
8 Mile reference. You like that?
In 1902, J.M. Barrie introduced us to the Lost Boys, a group. In 1902, J.M. Barrie introduced us to the Lost Boys, a group of boys living in Neverland who would never grow up.
Hey, stop, I want you to start again.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
This is about the Lost Boys, right?
It is.
The Lost Boys.
The
That's
Lost
the whole
Boys.
theme.
It is.
Make sure that everybody hears Lost Boys.
Okay.
Enunciation.
In 1902, J.M. Barrie gave us the Lost Boys. In 1902, okay, this is it. In 1902, J.M. Barrie gave us the Lost Boys, a group of kids living in Neverland who would never grow up. In 1987, Jeb Schumacher gave us his Lost Boys, a biker gang of teenage vampires. The magical market of millennials stands at 80 million people in the US alone, each of them earning to find a brand which fits them. Lifestyle brands are dominating the fashion industry. Lost Boys is more than a lifestyle brand. It's a message and a reminder. The message: the people moving culture every day, like the Lost Boys we know, live forever through their work and their art. It's a reminder also that fashion isn't wholesale t-shirts with a hollow brand screen printed on. A reminder of the impact that can be had through fashion, and that you don't matter to this world. What matters is what you put into it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so this is a good point to say. So you've got to go,
Yes.
but we've got to work after class to change your words. We're never going to get to changing your words in class. We're just going to give you feedback about what it is that you should be working on. So we've got to work on energy and enthusiasm and excitement and all that stuff. Everybody's going to have to. But that said, we're going to have to work on how to get some of that nuance out of there and being more direct to the point about what it is that you're selling. But it's a great beginning. It's a great beginning.
Should I just leave that?
Yep, you can leave that there. So we're going to take like a 2-minute break because I got to queue up a video. And so while I do that, talk amongst yourself, going to queue up a video. It's going to be what sort of sets the stage for what's going on, and we'll go from there. This is the level I need you at.
Billy Mays here for OxyClean, the stain specialist. Powered by the air you breathe, activated by the water that you and I drink. It's Mother Nature approved, then it's safe on your colored fabrics. Use it on carpets. OxyClean seeks out organic stains. They get out into the padding. It even takes red wine and grape juice out of white carpet. It cleans, it brightens, it eliminates odors all at the same time. Don't just get it clean, get it OxyClean. Make a paste, make it 10 times as powerful. The longer you get it stuff, the easier it is. It'll whiten your grout and get rid of your toughest stains. Sometimes soaking is the solution. If you use bleach, you ruin your clothes. OxyClean won't hurt the material, even lace. It has the power of bleach without the damaging side effects of chlorine. When your laundry detergent just isn't enough, supercharge it with OxyClean. 1 scoop in every little laundry, it'll make your whites whiter. It'll make your brights brighter. As a stain remover, it's the best. Grass stains, clay stains. Long live your laundry. OxyClean, the stain specialist. We've sold millions of our 2.5-pound cups for $40. But if you call now, we'll cut the price in half. Only $19.95. You'll also receive a squirt bottle and a super chamois absolutely free. If you call during this show, you'll receive a bottle of our world-famous orange clean, made with pure orange oil. It cuts through the grease in the ground, whether it's making upsize your OxyClean from a 2.5-pound tub to a whopping 6-pound bucket. Nearly triple the amount, but you gotta call now. Here's how to order.
That was pretty reserved, actually. That was like pretty reserved Billy Mays, right? You guys know who he is. I'm gonna show you more. All right?
Oh my God, this guy.
Oh, ShamWow, we can't even go down that path. This guy, I mean, I don't need you doing an infomercial, but I need the energy and excitement and enthusiasm that you're really trying to sell something. And a lot of times we think about sales as sometimes like, they're trying to sell me something, It's almost like a dirty word, right? But in the back of your mind, what you've got to be imagining is they've got a problem and I have a real solution for them. And then it doesn't become a bad thing if I'm helping you solve a problem. So you've got to be excited about solving a problem, excited about delivering value, excited about creating something that they want, and communicating that through very visibly your body language, your excitement, your animation, your smile, your energy, right? So that's what I'm looking for. And here's the deal. At this point in the game, what I'm looking for is a commitment to that. Not so much, I've got an amazing idea that's fully fleshed out. I've got a perfect solution. I know my market. What I need from you is just a commitment to enthusiasm and energy. Like, I'm going to do this no matter if I have the right thing or the wrong thing, but I'm going to give it my all right? So that's what I'm looking for today. So your words, they matter, but this is the very beginning. It's more about you, your energy, your excitement, and your commitment. So without further ado, I'll get off my soapbox, and someone's going to stand up, and they're going to give us, stand and deliver, your 60-second pitch, which was your homework for this class. Everybody's going to go today. Everybody's going to go at least twice. If you don't have something prepared, if you feel like I didn't get to it, I didn't do it, you're going to stand up there because everybody's got a plan, and then sometimes they get punched in the mouth, right? Like, I had a plan, I had this thing, but I don't want to do it. I don't know what I'm going to say. Get up there and give us that energy and enthusiasm around what you want to do. Talk to us like you're trying to get out of a really sticky situation, and the only way to do it is through energy and excitement and enthusiasm, and it'll get you off the hook. Does that sound good? What's that?
Can I go first?
I would love for Carla to go first. So Carla's going to go first, and she's going to kick us off Billy Mays, ShamWow, OxyClean style. All right?
I'm just trying to get it over with.
I love that. So you're going to be right here.
Look at the camera. See where the camera is?
Yeah.
Okay. Take one.
Woo! All right, everybody, let's clap her in. Let's go. Let's get, feed off of our energy and excitement and enthusiasm. And you're giving feedback, right? You as the class are giving feedback, so you're looking to help, all right? So be watching.
Hi, my name is Carla Diaz. I want to sell you some authentic Guatemalan and Ecuadorian food. My food is amazing because I use all natural, all 100% organic and local fruits and veg. So not only is my food healthier, but I'm giving back to the local economy. You can hire me to cater parties, weddings, quinceañeras, you name it. Come visit me, I got some deals.
All right, people, let's go. Help her out. Pick her up. Let's clap. I got things. I want to hear from people I don't hear from.
Okay. So you kind of started a bit at some parts, like when you talked about the natural, you stopped for like a good second, then went to natural or organic type of thing. So like, I don't know, it happens to everyone.
So why is stuttering a bit a bad thing?
Because you forget your wording.
Okay, so you forgot your wording. How does it make you feel when Carla's stuttering as a listener? What's that? She's not confident, right? It makes it seem like you're not super confident in what you're going to say next. All right, keep going. Sorry. Who else? So I follow that. I like that. Yep.
I feel like if you're talking about your business, you should say like our or we, because unless you're doing it on your own, but I expect you to probably, if it's a food business, you're not going to be by yourself completely, especially something like that, especially for catering. So I would say call us or our company will come to you. I think that sounds a bit stronger as well.
It's great feedback. It's great feedback. What else? Come on, you gotta have more than that.
Try to be a little bit more positive, like Billy May style, you know? Cause you're over there, and at least I can hear you, like you're audible. But like, try to sound a little bit more excited about it. Like, I'm gonna sell you this Guatemalan Ecuadorian food, and it's gonna be great. Like, you know, yeah.
Yep. Second that. You're gonna go again, so be internalizing this. What else? I'm gonna give a very specific critique. Take your sleeves and pull your sleeves up right now.
Oh.
All right? Nothing makes me crazier than seeing people cover their hands when they're talking. It's a really nervous tick that people do, and it sort of sells you down the river right away. Like, we know, oh, you're covering your hands, you're sort of hiding, right? So make sure you're not hiding, all right? What else? Energy, excitement, enthusiasm. Here's a very specific critique that you're not going to fix in this class, although if you want to be bold and brave, you could give it a shot. I didn't hear a problem. I didn't hear a problem, right? I didn't hear an unmet need. I get what you're doing and why you want to do it, but help me understand why I should be coming to you, why authentic food is the thing that I should be going after, all right? So let's hear it again from the top. Energy, enthusiasm, positivity. And if you can work a problem in there, amazing. If not, know that that's your homework. That the next time we hear it, Carla will have a problem to state.
Hey, so I could like switch up my words.
Oh, please switch up your words. Do whatever you want, but take in that feedback.
Okay. So you guys may be wondering why authentic food is better than unauthentic food. So if you go to an authentic restaurant, like let's say Taco Bell, they give you mystery meat that you don't really know where it comes from, and it has all those preservatives and stuff that isn't good for you and actually may be cancerous. If you come to me, where I have all natural organic products that I buy from local food distributors, I guarantee you that you will know what meat you're eating, what's actually in your food, and it will be way healthier and less cancerous. What I want to do is give you some authentic Guatemalan and Ecuadorian food where we cater to your needs. We have vegetarian options. I'm sorry, can I start over?
Yeah, no, keep going.
We have vegetarian options. Vegan options and meat lovers options. Call our company and we will cater to your needs.
Okay. Why don't you give some feedback?
I started laughing.
How come?
I don't know, like I feel mad awkward.
I can't hear you with your hand there.
I feel awkward
Why do you feel awkward?
because I'm like being stared at.
You're being stared at. Let me ask you a straight up question. Are you prepared right now?
No.
Okay, so bravo for Carla for going unprepared first person. Like, let me just get this done, right? But if you're not prepared, you're going to feel like this every single time. So you've got to go to the drawing board and you've got to come back from Monday's class prepared to give a pitch, okay? Because I'm not going to have you keep doing it, and if it's different every time, it's not going to be super constructive, because if you're unprepared, it's not going to go well. That's just the reality of it. So you need to focus in on a problem. I've got an idea for you, but let's give something specific around how could Carla maybe focus in on a problem. Give her some technique or some idea, some way to hook us in. I've got one, so maybe it's unfair, so I'll give mine after. But maybe give like a very specific, like, hey, try this.
You could try to, for example, try to interpret like how you're pitching for it to kind of be more towards people who maybe want to change their dietary plan. So you could try to make that like a big, like I'm trying to figure out where it, make your business relevant to them if they feel like you're talking about like something like that, like switching over to that. That would be good.
I think you could research some information about how people who eat like things like Taco Bell and really unhealthy places really affects their bodies, and talk about that. And I think like that, if you were to pitch it. And the only other like feedback, I know you didn't really ask, was just grammar. I know that you obviously are like unprepared, but things like use guys and like that really sticks out to me. I don't know why, and I feel like judges will probably take that stuff into consideration as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a great comment. Here's what I'm going to say to you. One thing that I think you did nicely is bringing in, and actually sort of to follow up on Layla's point, you mentioned some disease or some cancer and stuff. Do the research to actually back that up. But more than that, here's just a thought, and I'm going to give it to you quick, which is I imagine you standing up there with a bottle of Windex, okay, and reading off a bunch of chemical names. All these really hard to pronounce chemical names, and go, if you think I'm listing ingredients in this bottle of Windex, you're wrong. I'm listing ingredients in your average Taco Bell burrito, right? And so all of a sudden I go, wait a second, I just thought you were listing a bunch of chemicals that were in cleaning products, and these are actually names that appear in inauthentic, inorganic, unnatural, whatever type of food. So it's just a way to play with people's expectations around like, oh, maybe you don't do the Windex. Maybe you just list off really crazy chemical sounding names and everyone's going, what is she talking about? And all of a sudden, these are your 5 top preservatives in whatever. Now, you shouldn't be eating those, right? So just think about that as a tool. Who's up next?
I want to say something to Carla too. Listen, people are giving you advice and it's good advice, but don't go over the top. Are you selling health? No. Are you selling cancer treatments? No. What are you selling?
Food.
Food. It better taste good. It better smell good. It better make me hungry. Don't be telling me about, I mean, you can tell me that things are terrible at Taco Bell, but don't frighten me. Make me hungry. That's what I think you should do.
I like that advice a lot. I would go with what Nick said. I would.
So this is just your 60-second pitch, right? We'll get some chemicals in when you're doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
We have slides up in 5 minutes to do this. Right now, I want to smell the food. I want to be hungry.
Sean wants to go, but I'm not going to let Sean go because he's unprepared. He wasn't in class last time, so I want...
have something in my mind.
It's fine. I want somebody who's prepared to go. You prepared? Who's prepared to go?
I'm prepared.
That looks like preparation to me. You want to go? All right. Leah's up. Leah's prepared. As you're walking up there, I'm going to say positivity and energy and excitement. You should feel weird. You should feel over the top. You should feel like this isn't me. This isn't natural. This is crazy. I'm speaking too loudly. That's how you should feel right now. Good. I'm glad.
All right, ready? As many as 24% of the American population will suffer some kind of type of skin irritation in their skin at some type of their lifetime. There have been found more than 3,700 substances that have been identified as contact allergens or ingredients that can irritate your skin. There are many people who may not even know that they have a type of allergic reaction to products they use every single day that contain many dangerous chemicals and toxic ingredients. I want to help people find natural products that don't contain any toxic chemicals, fragrances, or essential oils that can trigger and won't cause any irritation or reaction to the skin. There are many natural companies that promote natural products, but most of those companies don't sell products that contain some of the most common allergic ingredients. I want my products to benefit everyone without any allergic reaction.
So what we have is preparation. But what else do we need?
A little volume.
So volume number 1, right? Volume number 1. I second that. Who here seconds we need a little bit more volume? Who felt more volume? Okay. Next time through, you're going to up the volume. All right, what else?
More enthusiasm.
More enthusiasm, more volume. We're going to keep hearing the same stuff over and over again. More enthusiasm, more volume. You're going to keep hearing it. You're going to keep hearing it. If you feel like you're giving enough enthusiasm and volume, you're not. If you feel like this, like I'm doing enough, you're not. Okay? You've got to do more. You've got to feel like you're doing too much, and then you're doing just enough. Okay? What else?
So you said about dangerous chemicals, but like what type of dangerous chemicals could there be in those products?
So you're looking for more specifics?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't hear your name or like your brand or anything. I just heard a lot of like information about your idea, which is in the problem, which is a very important part, but the most important part is the fact that you are solving that problem and you want to make everybody else not be a part of that problem. So I feel like if you really just hit it, even if it's at the end with like your name and your business name, I guess, that could have just been like added.
Well, I don't have a business name yet, so, but thank you.
So the push is get a business name. Put a business name substitute in, right? Have a name because it lends credibility. One other thing that I'll say to that point is act as if. Act as if you are already in business. Act as if you are already doing it. So what we want to do, just tell me what you do. All right? Put this in the present tense, not future tense. This is what we do. We're going to get there. All right? But I want you to start feeling what that feels like to state what you do rather than what you want to do. All right? So I want you to embody that. I want you to be that. Act as if it was already happening. For some of you it is. For others, I want you to play that part and play that role here so you feel what that feels like. Because when you're thinking in the present or the future, it's not feeling as authentic and sincere potentially. All right? What else? Enthusiasm, energy, excitement, brand name, maybe some more specifics. What I want from you right now on this second try is volume. I don't even need the enthusiasm and the energy. I'd love to have it, but I really want you to speak loudly, okay?
As many as 24% of the Americans will...
2 times louder.
As many as 24%...
1 times louder.
As many as 24%...
Wow, I love that volume. I love that volume. Let's do that again. Let's go 2 times louder, all right? I love that volume. I actually do.
As many as 24% of the Americans will experience an allergic skin reaction at some point of their lives. There are more than 3,700...
I'm going to stop you. I'm sorry. I want you to be that loud, but a little louder, and I'm going to be picky. And I want you to slow down, okay? Your volume's going up, but then you get faster, okay? So loud and slower, okay? And it's going to be great. I can already see it developing.
As many as 24% of the Americans will experience an allergic skin reaction at some point of their lives. There are more than 3,700 substances that have been identified as a contact allergen, meaning they can trigger a rash or other skin irritation. There are many people who may not even know that they have a type of allergic reaction to products they use that contain many dangerous chemicals. I want to help people find natural products that don't contain any toxic chemicals, fragrances, or essential oils that won't cause any irritation reaction to the skin. There are many companies that have natural products, but most of those products contain most of the common allergic ingredients. I want my products to benefit everyone without any allergic reaction.
When it's louder and slower and refined, it's going to be great. It's already great. I mean, it really is. You were prepared, and I appreciate that. The louder it is, the clearer it is. And one last thing that I'll say and that I want you all to incorporate. If you're going to say a stat or a statistic, what's your second statistic in there? Read that second one. It's like a 3,000 number.
There are more than 3,700 substances that are to be identified as a contact allergen.
Is that a big number? Are you saying that because it's small or big? Big. Is this a big number or is this a small number? I can communicate big to you, right? I can communicate big. I can also communicate small, right? If you're going to say a number and you want it to be big, get bigger. Get more animated. Get excited. Like, oh, wow, this is happening. So if you're going to have that, and then the second thing I'll say, if you're going to give me a stat or a statistic, pause. My brain's slow. You got to let it sink in. Give me a moment to let it sink in, and then go to your net. But if you go stat, 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 I don't know how to follow the thread. Who's up next?
Brandon, come on.
No.
Oh my God, please. I'm tired. I got it.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. What are you gonna do for us up here?
I'm gonna tell you my problem.
I can't even hear
I'm
you.
gonna tell you my problem and how I'm solving it.
Wow, I love that. I'm so excited.
There is a problem that lots of people face. 70% of the world's population face, and that is sweat stains. I'm here to solve that problem for you guys. Our company uses absorbent fabrics to create shirts to stop issues like that. So we beat sweat before sweat beats you. Thank you.
There was a pause there. What do you think that pause was about?
Kind of ended abruptly.
Everybody was like, well, what are you going to say next? What's coming next? Come on, you sort of like hooked us in, but then you just sort of left us hanging, right? For a person who has participated in a pitch competition, who had a fully fleshed out pitch, I'm surprised to see that you couldn't tweak around the edges and get it ready for this room right here. Feedback.
So you slurred your words a bit in the beginning, so I would just say try to enunciate every word more clearly so that we can receive it clearly. Yeah.
So enunciate. This is gonna go for everybody. Enunciate. You came out of the gate like a racehorse, like psh, you were just gone, right? And we're all just going, slow down, okay? Other feedback.
You didn't really give much of like. Did you say your name? No. You didn't really give us your name, the company name, like who you are. You said what you're selling, but like where you located at. I don't know. Just like those basic information, like who you are, like where. I don't know what I was gonna say.
No, Kevin, you're spot on. I mean, there's a pitch. Like we have a pitch formula here. It's not here because we like to write things on big white pieces of paper and hang them in the middle of the classroom for no apparent reason. You've got what you need. You've got your template, right? You could deviate from the template, but this is it. All right? So what I want you to do for your homework, I want you to take a picture of this, and I want you to come back with a pitch ready for us, because you didn't have a pitch ready for us, right? And so I'm not going to like drill down on nothingness, right? It's not helpful. I've seen you give a great pitch before. We all have, right? I mean, we've seen that happen, so we know what you're capable of. You got to go do the work. I'm not going to like work on this one right now because there's nothing to work on. Get this done, okay?
Oh.
Tweak what you had, all right? Who's up next?
Come on.
Hey, some things about public speaking. Hang on just a second, Marilyn. Thank you for volunteering. Guess you're up next. Did we talk about phobias? Did we talk about what frightens people?
Yeah.
Yeah? What's the number one phobia?
Public speaking.
Public speaking, yeah. It's in front of death. People would rather die than public speak. Okay, so let's get over this. Here's the situation. You're standing here and you're nervous. Now this, I'll tell you, is the absolute truth. Those people that you're talking to, the audience, they're more nervous than you are. Really, it's like, come on, kid, you can do this. Don't make a mistake, don't stumble. Okay, they want you to succeed, and they want to hear what you have to say. But they don't know whether it's English as a second language, or Spanish is spoken at home, or you just mumble. I'm going to ask Brandon to say something. Close your eyes. Say anything, Brandon.
I would like to know what it is that you want me to say.
Everybody know that was Brandon?
Yes.
Yeah. You're used to Brandon's voice.
But also you announced him.
The audience is not used to your voice. So you just start talking, and if you just start talking a little bit too fast, James is saying something, yada, 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 and the audience is there saying, okay, how does this person talk? Does this person have an accent? Does this person talk loud enough? Give the audience a couple of words to get their ear tuned to your station. And remember, they're terrified. They are scared to death. But you're not. Marilyn, what you got?
That's a lot of pressure.
Somebody repeat back to me the nugget right there. I mean, what did Nick just say that I think is critically important around beginning?
I mean, I know I have that problem whether, when my dad does public speaking for his classes, I kind of just like, come on, Dad, don't stutter, you got this. So I get the point across is like, as you're more nervous, or if not, same nervousness as the person speaking. So like, you shouldn't be afraid of what they're gonna think, because they're just like, no, that was great, you got this, kind of thing. So.
Yeah, there's nothing to be afraid of.
Okay. So, yes, I'm glad that you focused in on that. And I'm almost thinking about the very specific, so this is spot on, but the very specific suggestion.
Let them hear your voice.
Let them tune to your voice. You can't just come right out of the gate. You gotta give them a second, all right? You've gotta give them a second to acclimate to you, all right? You've got to make these people feel comfortable. This is your job. It's important. It's great. It's a great suggestion. Know that they don't know how you speak, your cadence, your volume. You've got to give them a moment to get used to you. And the way to do that is to start speaking slowly and clearly and making direct eye contact. Okay? To give you a specific on how to do that. It's great feedback. It's a great suggestion.
Okay. A groomer can make $70,000 to $100,000 a year, but how much of that are they really making when clients cancel? I need to start over.
So, do me a favor. This is a dog groomer. Is that fair? I don't know what you mean by a groomer, right?
Yeah.
Or a pet groomer. I'm sorry, a pet, because it can be bigger than that.
Okay. A pet groomer can make up to $70,000 a year to $100,000, but how much of that are they really making when clients cancel? Just one cancellation a week can cost up to $1,750 in income, but I have a solution for my shop, Perfect Touch. I will provide pickup and drop off for the busy clients who cannot make it because of work, but also have an app that sends them appointment reminders, and no call, no shows will be charged a $35 fee, encouraging my clients to make it or book pickup, keeping pets safer.
Oh, do you need me to tell you can give feedback now? Is that what you need? Just give feedback. Come on. You don't need to look at me for permission.
The way you ended, I guess you should sort of try to build it up so like when you end it, we kind of know like, okay, you're gonna end it now. So it kind of like sort of stopped, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
Speak a little louder, Gabriel.
So like when you end, sort of like bring it all to a close, so we know that you're gonna end, and yeah.
I'd like to add something to that. When somebody is giving you feedback, they should sit still.
You're hearing this a lot, aren't you? Yeah.
Okay, so I think that Brandon and Nick have told us a lot about just like hitting them, but I think that's it. And I think you hit us a lot with all of your information that your business is going to provide, but I feel like you could have added some details in between to make it more full circle, which is sort of what Gabriel was sort of getting at. I feel like, because you told us so much about how much you guys make, what you want to do, what happens a lot, and what you're going to do, and that's it. But I feel like you should add a little bit more to that, if that makes any sense.
So I think one way to maybe connect that is, so when you answered a question in class the other day, you answered it with the dog in mind first, right? Like you said, it's bad that people cancel their appointments because then their dogs aren't taken care of. Not like I'm going to lose a bunch of money. And that was very important for me. I go, there's a girl that really cares about dogs. That's a person who I want to take my dog to because they're more concerned about the health and well-being. So maybe an opportunity is to show that side of you that you're not all business and all profit. But at the end of the day, when you keep an appointment with me, that means your dog is cleaner, happier, healthier, and the relationship with the dog is better. I don't know if that's the reality, but bringing in some humanity around how much you care for dogs and how engaged you are in this field, I think would make it a human touch to it as well. And I think that could be a nice blend. Does that make sense? What else?
I like the opening a lot. You know, a dog groomer can make between $75,000 and $100,000 a year. I got big eyes. Really? I would have never thought that a dog groomer could make that much money. And then I like the idea that you went to the problem. But they can make $70,000 if no one cancels.
Yeah, I feel like by you throwing that number out there, it kind of will make people who are like, end consumer, people who are bringing their dogs in to get groomed, to show them how serious what you do is. So maybe like someone might not see dog grooming as being that like serious and maybe that time consuming, or maybe you seeing that being such a hard thing to come up, like for you to want to turn into a business. So I feel like doing that and throwing that number out there will just, it adds that much seriousness to what you do. So maybe that would be something to make people not cancel as much.
This is for everybody. When you say something, there's likely an objective behind why you're saying it. And if there's not, don't say it. In this pitch, there's an objective, and you should be writing this down. You are trying to accomplish something with every statement. So when you are making that statement of $75,000 to $100,000 a year, what is the objective? What are you trying to get out of that? What do you want me, the listener, to feel? I'm asking, truly, when you say that, what should I be? Should I be excited? Should I be surprised? Should I be mad? Should I be angry? Surprised, and what else? I should be surprised and probably a little excited, like, wait, really? Like a little amazed. But so if that's what you want to get out of it, you've got to say, did you know, or not did you know, because we don't want to ask the question. A dog groomer can make $75,000 to $100,000 a year. That's a big number. $100,000. Look us all in the eyes. $100,000, people. Listen up. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars here, right? There's an objective to every line in there. You should be annotating, meaning writing down in there, what am I trying to achieve with this line? Why am I saying it? If you don't know why you're saying it, don't say it, or figure out why you're saying it. It's really important. Because I know that there's great stuff in there. There is. And then if you deeply internalize that and communicate, like, you should be surprised now. That's what you should be right now. You want to communicate that. Okay? We got to pick up the pace. I'm talking too much. You guys are giving good feedback. Who's prepared? Who's ready?
You know what? I'm not prepared. I just wrote mine right now, but I'm ready to go.
All right. So there's a lot of unpreparedness in the class, and the homework was pretty clear. The class only goes as well as the preparedness. So when you come back next Monday, if you don't have a 60-second pitch, I'm gonna look at you, I'm gonna ask you, I'm gonna say, where's your 60-second pitch? I'm gonna say, you can leave class until you have one. All right? I will just say bye, sayonara. There's no reason for you to be here anymore if you don't have the pitch for us to work on, because that's where we're at in the class, okay? You know that now. Don't worry about it today. That was the homework. Monday, if you are not coming with a pitch, you will be excused. Sayonara. Sound good? Kevin, so excited for you to be up there.
The name's Kevin Yang. I am here for you guys and girls to put your mind on design. We want our customers to get a chance to put what they want to see on their own shirts, hoodies, hats, or caps. You name it, we got it. You can find us at cosmicdust.com or reach us by 401-426-1239. Thanks.
Wow. Can you do that faster? Come on, do it faster.
Faster, or you want slower?
No, do it faster.
Let me reread this. The name is Kevin Yang.
I think you might want you to do it slower.
So you can do it faster. Can you do it slower?
Yes.
Okay. Do it
I'll
slower.
try to do it slower.
Divide by 8.
So the name's Kevin Yang. I'm here for you guys and girls to put
Just as fast. But here's the thing. Give that energy, where that little infomercial style that you had, just because you're trying to go slower doesn't mean you have to get rid of that.
Right.
Keep that same energy, just go slower.
Right. So my name is Kevin Yang. I'm here for you guys and girls to put your mind on design. We want our customers to see what they've envisioned on their t-shirts, hoodies, hats, or caps. You name it, we got it. You can find us at cosmicdust.com or reach us at 401-426-1239. Thanks.
Thank you. What was the first word Kevin said?
Mine.
Hi.
What was the first word Kevin said?
Names.
My name's
My name's Kevin.
First word he said was so. So my name's. Go ahead.
So my name's Kevin
So
Yang.
my name, right? That came out so fast nobody heard it. You gotta slow down a lot. Please. You gotta slow down.
I don't want to slow down too much.
So next class,
Yeah.
you're gonna put in slow.
Yeah.
And here's what I want to encourage. I like what you're doing in terms of the Billy Mays sort of infomercial style. You got a nice rhyme in there. I like that. I like what you're talking about. Now expand that.
Yeah.
Keep that same energy. Keep that same writing style. I think it fits you, truly. I think you enjoy doing it. It seems like it. So I'm getting a positive vibe from it, but there's just not enough.
Yeah, I know.
There's not enough. It needs to be fleshed out, all right? So that's your homework, right? You're going to slow down and you're actually going to write a pitch, but using that style, all right? Because I think it suits you.
Thanks.
All right. Who else?
Brandon, come on now.
I know, I'm trying.
Really?
A very common issue in the fashion industry. Let me start over.
That's good because I would like you to start with a little bit more of a smile on your face.
All right. A very common issue in the fashion industry is designers attempting to always remain relevant to people, customers, and consumers, and being unique and creative enough to stand out. Why should I read the question out loud?
Thank you for putting this one on display. People, we all have our little quirks and habits. Liam did his Michael Jackson sound, right? You've got this blah, 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 blah thing. The quicker we identify it and the quicker we break it, the better. Because I promise you will mess up on stage. You all will mess up on stage. And you will revert back to that thing that feels most natural. So I'm going to be on you about that little gesture, blah, 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 that thing.
Okay, let me start over. A very common
Ha! There it is. Stop it!
I scribbled
If you
stuff
stick
out.
your tongue out at me 2 more times, I'm sitting you down.
A very common issue in the fashion industry is designers attempting to remain relevant to people, customers, consumers, and being unique and creative enough to stand out. For many people, this may not matter, seeing that not everyone is passionate or as interested about the clothing they buy. For those specific group of people who take time and interest in their clothing, this means a lot though. A loss of creativity and unique ability in the fashion industry will diminish the overall selection of clothing for that group of customers and consumers, forcing them to buy from big and major companies who produce to the masses without any individuality. My business is to supply customers and consumers with original, authentic designs for their clothing and apparel, such as hats, hoodies, backpacks, t-shirts, pants, shoes, and more. I personally am not a super genius when it comes to knowing the industry or all the skills and qualifications, but I see it as if I'm willing to learn all the gritty and necessary details and aspects of the industry and also learning new design skills and techniques, which I am, I would take the chance on myself if no one else will.
A little heart and soul at the end there. I think we respond.
Tom,
Yeah. Nice feedback.
It would have been perfect if, like, I wouldn't say perfect, but it would have been really better if you weren't really reading off the page
Yeah.
and looking
Just
more at
type
everyone
it
else.
this morning, sorry.
But
Yeah, you should.
the heartfelt in there, that's what we needed, while also giving eye contact.
Yeah, you kind of read it to us instead of teaching and telling us.
Okay.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Nice
Also,
job.
what would be your business? So what are you selling yourself?
No.
No, that's not to be rude, but it's like because he said that if nobody else will take like a chance on me, I will take a chance on myself, which I think is cool. But like, does that mean that you're like promoting yourself as like somebody who's like an aspiring designer, or?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
You gotta take
that
what he
makes
said.
sense now.
You gotta take in what he said prior to that. What he said, I'm learning the techniques and standing notes of being.
So it's like if someone isn't willing to teach me all the things I need to know, then I'll teach myself.
But the question is, what's your business? And is that the kind of the question?
Well,
What's
that
your?
is the question.
That's the question. What's your business? So
She didn't say that. She said.
yeah, which is why I'm.
What are you selling?
Yeah.
So I'm clothing and apparel.
So I think it's important if there's a little bit of confusion, right? Maybe not everybody. You gave us a lot of information. It was dense. If it's densely packed, some people might lose the point, right? Okay? So we've got to be, this is a good one where there's a lot to work with. That's a really helpful thing. Good job for writing that out, for being prepared, for having something that was flowed from beginning to end. And now you and I can sit down and actually work through those words and tweak and improve. But without anything on paper, without preparation, I can't do that. So thank you, all right? That was great.
Thank you, Pete.
Well said at the end. I liked it.
Just let me go.
No.
Come on.
All right, who's up?
So listen, does anybody know what I'm going to say next? Anybody? Raise your hand if you know what I'm going to say next.
That you're gonna let Sean go?
Well, so your audience doesn't know what you're going to say next. They don't know what you wrote. They don't know what you practiced. They don't know what's a mistake or what deviates from your script. But you can tell them by saying, oh no, wait, or blah, 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 or whatever it is James did, right? Don't call attention to something, just drive on. You miss a word, keep going. You said a sentence in a different order than you usually do, keep going, because they don't know. They have no idea what's right or wrong. What's right is what comes out of your mouth. If you miss a phrase, if you miss a word, just drive on. Thank you.
Here's what I'm going to do. Everybody who hasn't gone yet, stand up and get in line over there. Everybody who hasn't gone, stand up and get in line. There's 5 minutes left of class. Everybody's going. You're not going to get as good a feedback as everybody else got because you waited till the end.
A lot of people have been hiding out.
Yep.
Oh.
I haven't been hiding out.
Oh.
That's the last thing I've been doing.
Sean, Sean, you go to the end of the line for me. Yeah, go to the end of the line for me.
Really?
Yep. So get in line, and I want you to step up, and I want you to incorporate all the feedback that you've been given up until this point. So we've said it enough. We've made our point clear. I want energy, enthusiasm, excitement, and a smile. That's what we're looking for today. Let's go rapid fire, popcorn style. Everybody's getting a chance to speak.
I got it written on my, typed up in my phone. Is that
Whatever you need, yeah.
All right, so I noticed that most of you in the room do not own a car yourselves. So with that being said, have you ever gone to someone's car and it was so dirty that you almost rejected the ride? Hi, my name is Rashawn Gomes and I'm the CEO and founder of VG Detailing. It's a double play on words for very good and also Rashawn Gomes. But and today I'm be telling you about how my services could be best for you, anybody you know that does own a car in this harsh weather. So in this weather, auto detailing towards the lean towards interior and not necessarily exterior. So with that being said, it tends to with this weather it could damage your interior rugs because of the salts that is add. And I just drew a blank.
Can you step over that way a little bit?
Like how was that on time? That was like a minute, right?
I have no idea. I'm not timing.
I'm gonna just do it one more time. All right, so I noticed that most of you in there, you're not on the car yourself. So with that being said, have you ever went to get in somebody's car and their car was so dirty you almost rejected the ride?
So I can't understand you. Can you guys understand?
Too fast?
Too fast. But you definitely have an interesting way of speaking. You know that, right? You know that, right? And so your words get a little bit mumbly, all right? You've really got to do a nice job of being conscious of that for 60 seconds. When we talk, I get it because I'm looking right at you, but if you've got a larger group, so just be mindful and mindful of that, all right?
All right. So another one?
Yeah, do it one more time through.
Alright, so I noticed that a lot of using it do not own a car yourself. So with that being said, have you ever went to get inside of a car and it was so dirty that you almost rejected the ride? Hi, my name is Vashawn Gomes and I'm the CEO and the founder of VG Detailing. So now with the seasons changing, auto detailing tends to lean towards interior, not necessarily exterior. So with this weather, it could damage your car, it could damage your interior in multiple ways. So my team is putting together ways that we could better inform car owners on how the weather can damage in their interior and not their exterior in this season. Thank you.
Thanks.
So I'm going to give you one thing. Nick gave you something from, it was the military, right? There's another thing that comes from the military. Keep it simple. KISS. Keep it simple. You're a car detailer. You don't got to overcomplicate this. Cars get dirty. They need to be clean. Cars that get clean drive better. Everybody takes more care of them. They feel better. They look better. Better confidence. Everything you're talking, I'm like, what is bounce, bounce, ping pong? What is, you clean cars, man. You got one of the most direct, clear things. Just make it simple.
That's why I feel like if I just get up here and say I clean cars, you want dirty cars.
I would be like, I need my car cleaned. I need my car cleaned. That's what I would say.
So I'm thinking too much?
Yeah, thinking too much. All right, sit down. I love it. Thank you for going. Debut.
Poverty, broken families, and street violence. Poverty, broken families, and street violence is the top main things that kids in the inner city go through. I plan to give kids in the inner city some inspiration and motivation through fashion and Poverty, broken families, and street violence is the top things that kids in the inner cities go through. I plan to give kids motivation and inspiration through fashion. Woo-tag, very meaningful. It's a two-word acronym meaning work until dollars appear, then achieve greatness. The message is pretty clear. It's to help kids get through the day with inspiration and I don't know. Somewhere around there.
Somewhere like that?
Yeah.
It was good. You just gotta get a closer. That's it. It was good.
I mean, I just.
Kalima, τι κάνεις εσύ? Πώς θα λέει?
Huh? What's that?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I mean, what I just said to you was Greek. I don't know what you said to me. Does anybody know what this is about?
A clothing brand?
A what?
A clothing brand?
Helping inner city kids.
I don't know. I mean, it sounded to me like a foreign language. Can we try it again?
Poverty, broken families, and street violence is the top three things that kids in the inner city face. I plan to give them inspiration and motivation through fashion.
I'm going to give you 2 notes. Debut has a natural asset. You all have it, but I got to be honest with Debut. He's got a better one. Debut's got a great smile. He's got a great smile. He can't help it. But when you get up there, I don't see it, right? Now, fair enough, what you're talking about is not something to smile about. But smiling and being energetic and really looking and connecting they're different. Just because I'm smiling doesn't mean I'm like happy about it. It means that I'm excited to be talking to you about a solution. The other thing I'll say is if you're going to list 3 things that are that critical and that serious, if you guys are listening over there, one thing is this. It will naturally give you an opportunity to pace yourself and really make sure that you're heard up front, all right? So the next time I see you, in the interest of time, I want you to pace yourself, and I really want you to hit those very serious problems that you're mentioning, which are just like cosmic dust. Just like, it's just going by, and I'm not catching it, right? It's bigger than that. Practice on camera. This is for everybody, but you specifically. Practice on camera, because the same thing that I said to Mookie is the same thing I'm going to say to you. One-on-one, I can understand you, but you have an interesting voice. You know that, right? You don't open your mouth as wide as other people do. Maybe because you're gonna smile too wide or something. You're hiding that, it's weird, right? It's like you got this big smile, but you're putting it down, and then when you speak, you're not opening your mouth super wide. It's not a dig so much as it's hard to understand. And that's Nick's point, it's the reality. But by the way, it's a natural asset, because it's an interesting voice. It's a good way of speaking, but you gotta use it to your advantage. And you just gotta know that it's harder to understand, but it is interesting, and we remember that smile on that guy. Remember when he was talking like that? That was cool, right? Balance it. Practice on camera and watch it, and you'll know what I'm talking about. That's your specific homework, all right? Yeah. Let's keep running.
You guys are paying for my lunch.
Let's go, we don't got time.
My name is Jensley.
Oh, stop it.
Whack it.
My name is Jensley.
Oh, stop it.
My name is Jensley, and my business is to create my own fashion line of dresses that exceeds far expectations than others would imagine. Many women struggle to accept their bodies, tend to have low self-esteem. Therefore, my goal is to provide a relaxed fitting and comfortable dress wear where women can instantly have a confident boost just by its great quality and style that represents themselves.
Whoa, that ending was tough. You really wanted to get through that, huh? Does anyone want to say anything?
I will.
How about we do Marilyn?
Okay.
You're talking about I could barely hear, but you're saying something about girls being confident, but I feel like you're talking solo, you're not confident in your voice.
She hit the nail on the head. It's real feedback, right? If that's what it's about, we can get you there and help you get that confidence in the public speaking. But if what you're talking about is confidence in women and you're speaking that softly, it's gonna be a hard sell. It's just the truth, right? And you probably don't wanna hear it from me, and it's probably not an easy thing to hear, but we've gotta move you in that. I know you can speak loud. I know you can. I know you're confident, and I know how much work you do in that stuff. There are good words there. I need you to do the same thing as debut. I need you to do it on camera. Set the camera up 8 feet away from you. 8 feet away where someone's standing, and see if your camera can pick you up. And until your camera can pick your volume up, know that you're not loud enough, okay? We've got to work on that. There's good words in there, but this is a very insightful comment around what you're selling, what you're talking about, and the presentation wrapped up together. Does that make sense? Okay, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Giselle Vasquez, and I am the CEO of Represent. So, all of us here know exactly what advertisements are. They teach us what is supposed to be normal in our lives and they give us a sense of adequacy. Oftentimes, those advertisements don't address groups that are typically more underrepresented in our society, such as people in the LGBTQ community and as well as people of color. So my clothing brand, Represent, is here to represent you. Thank you for your
I think I'm in love.
I wasn't prepared at all. That was like,
Well, I could hear you.
Yeah.
I absolutely could hear you. I loved that. That was nice.
Nice.
Anybody think she was shouting? No.
You just you gotta wear we might get one word that's just mad, like the volume just jumps up and then it goes back down. But that's how you talk sometimes.
Yeah, but I also think that that's important because I want to make sure that you pay more attention to certain words than others.
So now it was
Yeah.
It's what we call inflection.
Yeah.
I like it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nick, you killed me here.
Don't preface, just go.
Hello, everyone. You all get stressed. I'm stressed. Here, right now. And everybody most likely has a phone on them. Right now, I do, right here. So I would like to create a case for your phone that everybody has, where if you feel stressed in front of an interview, right here, right now, you push it out and you squeeze. Everybody keeps their phone on them all the time.
300 million users have a phone, a smartphone, and 2.9 billion, or 89 billion, excuse me, have a phone in the world. Stress has been around before any of us were created, by the Greeks in about 300 BC, with worry beads. They've been around since before we can ever remember. So if we use the modern, or quite old, in our modern use today, then we will stress less with eye squeeze. Thank you.
People?
I really like that slow pace that you took, because I noticed that a lot of people went real fast, but you took slowly time to figure out what you gotta say. Because like when people talk really fast, they forget what to say, but when you talk slow, you quickly think like what you gotta say next, and then that's what you hit right there. And you got down everything. I like how you took out your phone and just started squeezing it. And how you said phone a lot to represent like this product that you're saying is for your phone, and that's what I really like about it.
Oh, what? Every time we give feedback, do we need to raise our hands, or can we just give the feedback?
Just give the feedback.
Okay, cool. So, I really love the fact that you were prepared and that you came in with statistics, right? So you let us know like how many millions of people in the world have a phone, which I think is really important. One piece of advice that I would give you is that when you go throughout your pitch, try to pay more attention to when you intone your voice. Because if you use intonation throughout the entire pitch, it almost sounds like you might be like insecure about what you're saying, or like everything, or like I'm waiting for a question to come up, right? Because if you're speaking like this and like you keep like bringing your voice up higher, I'm gonna keep thinking you're gonna ask a question, but really you're just going throughout your pitch. Yeah.
Thank you. I really didn't prepare, so thanks.
All right, Gabriel.
Hi everyone, my name is Gabriel Mullins, and I have a gift that most kids, teens, and adults should have, and that's origami. In the summer times, and even when you finish your homework, the one problem that we as kids face is that you have nothing to do when you're done. It's either video games, it's either texting, it's either let me go over to someone's house and do random stuff. But I'm here to give you something that is very helpful for me, because I have one thing that I cannot stop doing, and that's fidgeting. And when I do origami, I feel that I'm not only getting my creativity out, but also getting all this out. I sell unique and creative origami products so that others like you can feel inspired to learn.
Nice job, Gabriel. Good job. No, you're good. You're good. We're going to talk after, but you were spot on.
I really liked it. I felt like the way that you sold it was like I want to do origami now. Yeah. Because it's something to learn and to keep you like entertained. I don't know. I thought it was great.
I think the one distracting thing was when you're moving your arms everywhere. Because like if you're moving your arms everywhere, people are distracted from your hands and not looking at you.
What you should do is you should do something quick in origami while you're talking and finish one again.
Yeah. I like how you were moving that, because it went with
makes
your
a
point.
Yeah.
It was a good way to camouflage that you fidget. Just tell us that you fidget and keep doing it. I liked it.
I'm here to talk about jewelry. I know most of you guys, or well, all of you guys should know what jewelry is, and most of you like jewelry. There's only one problem with jewelry, and that's that, and not everybody can afford it. I'm here to solve that problem. My name is Ricky Rodriguez, and I have a brand that's offering up good, better quality jewelry from what you usually get for a lower price. That's what I got.
I want to know how you're doing it. That's a good pitch. I'm engaged. I want to know how that's happening. All right, in the interest of time, I'm going to just say thank you for going. And then we got Sean. And then somebody's got to go find Andre. Where'd Andre go?
Like literally left with
He didn't walk out of it.
No, he didn't.
I think he went to the bathroom, but like as soon as Layla finished.
Andre! I think he's in the bathroom.
Hang on just a second, John. Well, Brandon's out of the room. Raise your hand if you're an only child.
All right, Sean.
Nobody, huh? Okay, thank you very much.
We got 2 people left. Let's go. And then I got to get you to lunch 15 minutes late. 10 minutes late. That's all right. Marilyn says that's not okay.
on my list.
Somebody's paying for me.
All right, come on.
You should sign it, so no one matters.
No, wait.
All right, let's go.
There's a Liberty Mutual commercial out there that shows two teens trying to change a tire, and they can't figure it out for the life of them. Then one's calling their dad, and one's trying to fix the tire. They have no clue how to do it. My name's Sean McGonigal of McGonigal Auto Lessons, and what I'm here to teach you is how to change your tire or any basic automotive needs of your car. That way, when you get in your car, you're gonna want to go home and change the tire yourself just because you know you can. Thank you.
Woo!